What's good, guys? Welcome to another tutorial video on the playlist Inkscape for vector illustration, and here are some of the vector objects we did in the past video. In the last video we talked about part operations and we looked at the part operations, union and difference, but in this tutorial video we'll be talking about intersection, exclusion and division. So let's get into it. Alright, so let's begin with intersection. As usual, we'll be looking at practical examples. So let me draw a circle. This is my circle. I will duplicate it, Ctrl D, and I have it here. So intersection basically just cut out the intersection between two objects. So if you have two objects, like I have these two circles and I overlay them on each other, just like this. The intersection is basically the shape that is formed when two objects overlapped on each other. So from this circle we can say that this is the intersection, this space here where they overlapped. So when I highlight both of them and I perform the intersection part operations, what it will do is that it will just cut out this vector object that is formed from the intersection between these two shapes. So I will highlight them just like this. I go to my parts and I click on intersection. You can see the control here, which is control plus the asterisk symbol on your keyboard, or you can just click it. So once I do that, you can see it basically cut out the intersection of this object, and I can just duplicate this and move this here, and let me just rotate it a bit and bring it down a bit. Then I duplicate this. I will mirror it the other way around by coming to this my menu bar here. You will see the object flip, which is to mirror the opposite direction. While holding down my shift, I'll use my arrow key to move it to the other side. So holding down my shift, use my arrow key, move it to the other side, and you can see we have formed a little bit of a flower or something like that. So that's a practical example of using the intersection. So let me do another example using two different shapes. So again, I will have my circle inserted, and this time around I'll insert my rectangle shape. Just draw a random rectangle and I'll try and overlap it on each other to try to form a shape. So I will bring my rectangle here and I'll overlay it on this my circle based on the kind of shape I want to form. Though you will get to see what we will form when it's being applied. So I think I'm okay with this. So now basically the intersection between these two shapes is this part here. So I'm trying to form like a blade. So this is the intersection. When I apply the part operation intersection, it will just cut out that part for me. So I will just highlight the both of them, go to parts, and I click on intersection. That is it, guys. It has just cut out that part here. And what I can do now is just take my rectangle to insert a quick rectangle here, and just like that I kind of have a simple illustration of a knife. So that's the use case. If you pay attention more and you continue working with shapes, you will discover different kind of object you can form by just applying this part operation that will make it quick and easy rather than just using your pen to be connecting nodes. So that is another way you can look at it. So the next part operation we would be talking about is exclusion. So these part operations are getting more complex now. So this exclusion kind of performs two part operation in one. Yeah, two part operation in one. And for this I will insert, as usual, a simple example first. I'll insert my circle shape. For this, for you to really visualize what this part operation does, I will give it a color. So I'll give it a color. Let me just give this a random color, and I will duplicate this, overlay it on each other, and I'll change the color of the other shape so you can see the difference. So this part operation called exclusion, what it does is that it first of all applied a part operation which is union. It will unite and merge two shapes together into one, but while also performing the other part operation which is intersection, is uniting them but is excluding the parts where they intersect together. So let's demonstrate to see. So if you look at these two shapes, where they intersect is this part that overlaps on each other like we did with the other shapes. It will cut out that part completely out of the shape and unite the rest of the shape. Let me show you. Once I highlight both of them together, I go to my part and I click on exclusion. you can see they are now one shape, but their intersection is being excluded out. Let me try that again with another shape. The reason why I give this a color so that you can visualize it better. I can remove the color and you can see with just the outline. With just the outline, you still think nothing has happened. You just, as if I just group the shapes together and I join them together. Nothing seems to be happening, but when I give it the color, you can see what is happening. It is a unified shape but with a cutout. So once you're working with complex illustration, you will really see the use case for this, and hopefully as we progress in this playlist, we will find the use case of the application of this part operation. So you can do that with different kind of shapes. Let's try a polygon. Let's reduce the size, maybe like 5. Yes, and let's overlap another shape to it. Let's change the color. It's overlapped on each other now, so I'll just highlight both of them together, go to part, and now click on the part operation exclusion. They are now a unified shape, but where they intersected together is now excluded out of the unified shape. So when I change the color, you can see that the color changes uniformly. So that's it about the part operation exclusion. So we'll be looking at the last part operation under this video, which is division. Yes, division is a part operation that kind of it's like it applies the part operation. It's just like you making a different part operation, but the cutout is being kept. As usual, you understand better when we visualize this. Let me insert a circle. This, we don't necessarily need this to have a color, so we can go back to our normal outline and we duplicate and we overlay. So now when I apply the part operation difference on this, we know that it will just cut out where it overlapped. Like this part, every part here will be cut out from this shape, and you have to know that whatever shape is on top is what is being subtracted from the one below. Yes, this circle on top, where it overlaps with the one below, it will be subtracted from. So for you to see it, I will highlight both of them, go to my part and click on difference. You can see that circle that was on top has been cut out from this circle, but we are not talking about the part operation difference. We are talking about the part operation division. So what it does is that it applies difference to it, but instead of that part that is being cut out to be deleted, it will still remain there in case you want to use it. Let me demonstrate. I have them highlighted. I go to my parts operation and I'll click on division. You can see the part has been cut out. I can move this part out just like this. So instead of me just having this, when I apply normal difference, I'll still have the rest which is still left. So that is what division does. So what is the use case of this part operation? Let me show you an example using two different shapes. I will have my circle inserted again. Let me have another shape. Let me say a rectangle. I have a rectangle, so I will take this rectangle a bit just like this, and I'll overlap it on my circle just like this to have a kind of a pie cutout. So once I have these two shapes highlighted and I apply my part operation division, you can see where it has been overlapped has been cut out, but the remaining pieces I still have it. So I can just use my shift and move it a little bit outside. That's too much. Let me bring it back inside. So you can see it's kind of like a pie visualization, like a part of a pie being cut out, but I still have the rest of it. So you see all those data representation that you see, all those illustrations using to represent data that you see on most of these data sheets. You can do something like that with just normal illustration. I can give this a color, give this another color to demonstrate that this has been cut out. All those illustrations you see having percentages on the pie and so on. So that's one of the use case of this part operation. So as you go on further and try this on different kinds of shape and work on different vector shapes and objects, you would see the use case for this part operation division. So guys, we have talked about three parts operation in this video. We've talked about the different exclusion, intersection, exclusion, and division. So I've showed you some of the use case you can use them for. You can also continue practicing, continue trying out things. That's how I discovered all these use cases. You can just play around with them, you will discover more. And if you are kind of focusing to logo creation, if your major area is creating of logo, all these part operations are very, very important because they are they will be used for you in your, they will be very useful in your creative process of creating a logo. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. Do you have any kind of use case you have applied any of this part operation on that you think will be really helpful? You can share with us in the comment section. Do you have any question you want to ask, drop them in the comment section. Leave a like so that this video will be recommended to others. And if you are new, also do well to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.